Hello friends, so today in this video we're going to discuss the first three problems from the latest LeetCode weekly contest 244. So let's start. The first problem is determine whether the matrix can be obtained by rotation. So as you can see in this problem, you are initially given a matrix and you can rotate it 90 degree any number of times. Okay, so yeah, like you can rotate it. Now after rotating that, you are also given a target matrix. You have to just tell that whether after rotating any number of times can you reach this matrix. Okay, now obviously like the matrix is four-sided, so after rotating 4 times it will come to its original position. Okay, so it's a very general observation. What you can observe is like if you have a matrix, you can rotate it 1 time 90 degree and 1 time, and when after running 4 times it will return on to its original position. So it means that you only have to check that 4 times whether the original matrix, if rotated 90 degree 4 times, and any of the matrix matches the target matrix, then the answer is yes, else the answer is no. So you just have to write down two functions, one function to match the two matrix whether they are same or not, and the other function to rotate the matrix. Okay, so that's a simple observation. If you do not know the code to rotate a matrix, like I will tell you the observation also, but it's a very standard problem. So what I actually did in the code is I just like make a for loop 4 times. Okay, I just check that whether both the matrix and the target matrix are same. This is the same function. If they are same, then return out true. Else if they are not, what you'll do, you'll call this rotate function on this matrix mat, and this rotate function will return out the new rotated matrix, and then you will change the current matrix with the new rotated matrix which is returned from this function, and then you'll make it equal to that, so that the new, like this matrix is converted to the new rotated matrix, and then you can again rotate it 90 degree. So it means that I'm rotating 90 degree at each time and just checking that whether this new matrix is same or not. After 4 times, if it do not match, then the answer is false. Okay, now this is the same function. The same function is just take the two matrix, iterate from like over all the blocks and just check that whether they are same. If you find out any block which is not same, then the answer is false, because for the matrix to be same, every block must be same. If you find out any ij not same, then the answer is false, else the answer is true. Now how to rotate that? To rotate, you can do this in place or out place. It means that you can rotate it in the original matrix, or you can create a new matrix and then rotate it and put it in the new matrix. But what you can easily observe is, like, because we do not care about the time complexity or the space complexity in this, what you can do here is find the mapping of the two matrix. So what you can observe here is, so let's say that this is the 4x4 matrix we have. Okay, now if you rotate this matrix 90 degree, what you can observe this, where does this block go? This block will go to this point. So this is 1, this is 1. If this is 2, 3, 4, where will this line come? You can assume that if you rotate this 90 degree, this will come like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first row will become the last column, and then as you can see again 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is like this, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it means that the second row will become the second last column, and so on. So what you can easily do here is just iterate over the original matrix from top to bottom like this, in this fashion. Okay, left, right, left, right. And what you can do here is, if you are on the ith, jth option, if this is the ij block, then it is mapped down to, so as you can see, I and j are reversed. Okay, if this is I, like I means the first row and j means the first column. Now in this, you start filling from this option. Okay, so like if you are given ij, what you can do here is you can map this to this point. The second block is pointed to this point, the third block is pointed to this point, and so on. Okay, I'll show you the code part now to make it more clear. What you can do here is just iterate over from left to right over the block, and the matrix ij is mapped to j n minus I minus 1. Okay, so what does this mean here is, so as you can see, the whatever is the, so in this, as you can see, whatever is the like column in which we are. So as you can see, we are in which column? We are in the first column, second column, third column, fourth column. In this, we are filling like this because we are in the first row, second row, third row, fourth row. So it is moving in place like a column. As we move in the column, we are moving in the row. Okay, and if we are in the first row, eventually we are in the last column. So if we are on the ith row, then we are n minus I minus 1 column, which is the last column, and so on. Okay, and then we can just make this and now we have the new matrix which is filled in this new matrix which we have created A, and then we'll return out this A matrix from this, so that now we'll make our original matrix to equal to this matrix. I hope you get the point. This is the two functions. You can use down these functions to solve this problem. The second problem is reduction operation to make the array elements equal. In this problem you are actually given, you can read the code like problem, I can also tell you in simple terms. It says that you are given a matrix which has different numbers. Now you can do certain operation any number of times, and you have to tell how many operations you can do to make all the numbers in this matrix equal. Now how you'll do make this number equal? You have like different numbers in this matrix. What you'll do, you'll choose the maximum element. If there are multiple, you will choose every element, okay, like the smallest I element or whatever, but you have to first choose the largest element and the second largest element. And what you'll do, you'll convert all the largest element, like in one step you can take one largest element and convert it to the second largest element. Okay, so in simple terms you have to first find out, so if the matrix has some elements which are the largest, so let's assume that the matrix has 5 as the largest element and 4 as the second largest element. So in each step you will take 5 and convert it to 4, the next 5 convert it to 4, next 5 convert it to 4, and so on. Now you have to do these steps so that you can make all the numbers equal to a single number. Now it just boils down to a simple observation in which you first find out all the maximum elements. So I can write down like this: 1 1 2 2 2 3 4 4 4. Okay, now as you can observe in this matrix, the maximum is this. So in each step what you'll do, you'll take every 4 and convert it to 3 because that's just next smallest element. So in 3 steps you can convert every 4 to 3. So it will become like this: 3 3 3 3. Now you have 4 3s. Okay, now you have to convert all the 3s to 2. So in each step you'll convert every 3 to 2. Now you have this number of 2s plus this number of 2s, and now this all 2s should be converted to 1, and now that's the final answer. So what you can easily observe is you have to first find out the frequency of every number and then sort them out, not according to a frequency but sort them out according to their position. Okay, so this is the 4 is occurring 3 times, 3 is occurring 1 times, 2 is occurring 3 times, and 1 is occurring like 2 times. We don't care about this frequency because we have to boil down all of these numbers to this frequency. Okay, in the last frequency we do not care about because at that point the game will be over. So what you can do here is, the total number of operation is, first you'll take out all these 3 numbers, so 3 plus. Okay, now as you can see, after this number of operations, the total number of elements which will be converted in the next step is the number of frequency of this element, which is 3, plus the frequency of the next element in this contiguous sequence, which is like the frequency is 1. So as you can see, now 4 elements are there whose frequencies are 3 because we have converted all of them to 3. Now the total number of steps we'll do is convert all these 4s to 2. So 4 steps are required because we'll take every 3 and convert it to 2. Now how many 2s will be there? The total number of 2s will be this number of 2s plus the frequencies of 2, which is 3. So 7 2s are there. Now we'll convert this 7 2s to 1s, so plus 7. And we do not care about the last element, so this is the total number of operations we'll do. So that's the whole logic for this problem. It's just done in O of n only. So we'll first find out the frequency of every element. You can use a map to find out that. Then also they are sorted in the map. So what you can do here is just iterate over the elements over the maps and just push them. Because they are sorted, we care about the frequency only. But the frequency only matters so that they should be in a particular order. The order should be from smallest to like greatest to smallest or whatever. So because the map is sorted from smallest to greatest, the largest element will be in the back and the smallest will be in the front. So what you'll do, you'll start from the back and you'll go to the second last element. So because we don't care about the first frequency, I hope you understand why we just make these numbers to this number. The first frequency do not matter. That's why we go from the last element to the second last, not 0. And what we'll do, we'll first find out the current element we have to convert. So how many current elements are there? This total number of elements are there. So what we'll do, we will add the total AI to current. And now how many operations we'll do? Total number of operations is adding this to current. In the next time, what you can see, the current is incremented by AI again because AI numbers are again added to current. So at each step we are adding total number of frequency at that point, and then the total number of frequency is the total number of elements we have to convert. So that's what we have added to total, and then we just return out total. I hope you understand the code part. It's very simple. You can look at the code here also. The third problem is to make the binary string alternating. So I'll tell you in simple terms. It states that you have given a string s, and now there are two types of operation, type 1 and type 2. The type 1 is remove the first character from the string and append it to the end. So it's like taking the first character and appending to the end. The second type of operation is pick any character and flip its value. So if it's 1, make it to 0. If it's 0, make it to 1. Now you have to find out the minimum number of type 2 operation in which we have to flip the like bit. Minimum number of type 2 operations to make the string alternating, which is like 10 10 10 or 0 10 10. Okay, so that's the whole problem. Now what you can observe simple in this problem is like just draw 2-3 test cases and then it will become very intuitive. So if you just write down this 1 0 1 0, if you want to make anything 1 0 1 0 1 0, so as you can see, this is like these are the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, these are indexes. So as you can see in this, at every odd index there is a 0, odd index are 0, and in this even index are 1. And if you like do the opposite way, which is like 0 1 0 1 0 1, all the zeros are at the even index and all the ones are at the odd index. So we have to make eventually find out how many zeros are there and how many ones are there at the even and odd indexes. Okay, so now we can easily find out first that iterate over the whole string and find out how many even ones and odd ones are there. Even ones means at even indexes how many ones are there, at even indexes how many ones are there and zeros are there, odd indexes ones are there and even like zeros are there. Now what you can think in this problem is, let's take some example. So if you have, let's assume that this string 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, so the length is even. Okay, if the length is even, and what you can do here is let's assume that if you find out number of zeros, so at the odd position the number of zeros, the odd position number of ones, okay, then even position number of zeros and even position number of ones. If you find out those positions, now if you take out this bit like the first character and append it to the end, what you can think is like the whole string is shifted one time. So if the whole string is shifted one time, what you can observe is like the number of zeros in the even position and number of zeros in the odd position, like they flip out. The number of zeros at the even position and the number of zeros at the odd position, they flipped out, and the same for ones, because the string is just one time shifted. And if you again shift it one more time, it becomes the original string. So in the even string, if you keep on shifting the string, the number of zeros and number of ones in the even odd position just keep on shifting like this. Okay, so it means that if you have just this string, if you want to make this like this 1 0 1 0 1 0 or like 0 1 0 1 0 1, the main option is find out how many zeros are there, like this matches, so we have to make this 0. So if you want to make this 0, this is like one case can be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Find out how, so if you want to make this string, you have to convert this string to this string. You have to find out like how many changes I have to do. So number of changes means that if I want to make every even position, I want to make every even position 1, I want to find out how many even position zeros are there, because those number of zeros I have to change. Plus, if I want to make everything at the odd position 1, like 0, then how many odd position 1s are there? And you have to add that. Else, if you want to convert it like this, I want to make all the odd position, even position zeros. So find out how many even position 1s are there. Even position 1s should be changed. Plus, if I want to make all the odd position 1s, how many odd position zeros are there? And add them. And whatever minimum is there, that's the case for the even case when the string is even. But when the string is odd, okay, then it do not happen like this. What you can observe is like if the string is odd, so if the string is like 1 0 1 1 like 0, then what you'll do, this is the, so in that case, in the previous case, because the length is even, if we take the first character and append it to the end, the number of zeros and the number of ones in the odd even places like changes out. But in this position, if we take the first one and append it to the last, what you can see here is like this is also even index and this is also even index. So the number of ones at the even index do not change. I hope you get the point, because we take the 1 at the even index and again put it at the 1 at the even index. So this is not changing, but all the numbers in between, these are actually shifted. Okay, so what you have to see here is that the number of ones and like the number of ones and zeros except the first bit, we have to shift that, but this number of bit is not shifted. Okay, so that's what we have to see, and then we're gonna iterate it for all the position, like because there can be a lot of cases here, so just iterate from left to right. For every bit, if I take that bit and put it in the end, what you have to do here is, because it is at even position and we are putting it at the even position, what we're going to do here is just take all the rest of the bits. If we take all the rest of the bits, what we'll do, we'll shift them and then add the one bit which we have put in the back. Because see, if we in the original position in the even length string, we just swap the even, like the odd number of zeros and the odd position zeros and odd position ones, we just swap them. But in this we cannot swap them, because if we swap them, then it is causing a problem, because the number of, like in this, the number of 1 at the 0th index is remaining same, but in that it do not remain same. So we have to first remove this out from the equation, and now the string become even. So if the string become even, what we'll do, we will now swap it out, the number of zeros and number of ones, and then again add a number of 1 at the even position. And now we have a new string, we know the number of zeros and ones. So now we can again do this, because if you want to convert this into like this, we'll do the same thing which you have done earlier. So I'll tell you in simple terms. So just find a number of even at one position, even at even position zeros, odd position ones, odd position zeros, find them out. Then this is the int max. If the length is even, then we just find out, which I've told you, even position ones plus odd position zeros, or even position zeros, odd position ones. If it is a length is odd, we'll iterate of it from left to right, and whenever find out 0, what we'll know that if this is a 0, this is at the even position, we'll subtract it out from the even position zeros. Now we'll swap them out, and then we'll add again a 0 at the end, because and now we are again adding a 0 in the end, which is an even position, so even zeros again added. Else if it is a 1, then because 1 is at the even position, so one even position 1 is removed, and then we swap the two positions because now they become even, and now we'll again add a even number of 1 in there, and now we'll do the same formula here, because we have to find out how many number of ones or zeros we have to change, and then the answer is just the answer, which is like the minimum among all the possible cases. I hope you understand the logic and the code for all the 3 problems. If you have any doubts, you can mention on. I'll see you next one. Until then, keep coding and bye.